anything that's conscious, you're obligated to it, right? If it's conscious.
No, I'm just no. That's not.
You just said fucking yes. Oh my god.
Yeah, but what I meant by that is when I talk about
What I meant by that was actually not yes, I lied to you. If you do it,
I was lying.
in French debate school, you just fucking lie to your opponent. You throw them off with this good technique.
This is a rhetorical strategy number 67. You know nothing. You know nothing.
You know that. I lie to my
see?
opponent. That's how I get the upper hand on them.
Are you gonna let me speak? Or you're gonna keep?
I'm letting you speak right now. Yes, answer my question. Yes.
You're gonna keep gamer getting, or you can keep like. Are you gonna engage, or you're gonna keep rambling? Like
engage with the question. You want me to engage with my own question? You want to engage with my own question? What?
It's
I said question, I think consciousness is a minimum requirement. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you think that engages with the fucking question I asked you?
Oh my god, wait, someone let him eudaimonian, someone let him eudaimonian.
Holy shit. This guy's like
you're talking about obligation, you're talking about moral obligation. That moral obligation is not what I'm anxious about. You
cool guy, talking to this guy is like a waste. I'm gonna go play dispatch for him. I think.
Alright, bro, you have fun with that. Okay, it's the big E. It's the big D himself. Holy shit.
The jungle grows wrestler.
The jungle go wrestler.
Jungle grows wrestler.
Darius.
Darius.
Yeah, so, hey, man, hey.
So, yeah, so Mr. Phi symbol, formula symbol, you want to talk to eudaimonian?
Why?
He's like a really good faith guy. He might be able to cut through some of the confusion.
Hey, man, hey. Hey, yeah, so, what were you speaking about? Yeah. Alright, Dodge? Yeah, so, like, what were we talking about? Yeah, like, what were we speaking about?
So, I'll just fill him in because I think his brain is rebooting right now, so I'll just fill you in. He was, basically what he was, we were talking about was he was trying to answer the question, moral authority, but he kind of was not really. Yeah, he wasn't ready for that. So instead of that, he was asked by Dubert, do you think that if something's conscious, you're obligated to it? And then he's trying to get an answer to that question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, hey, Phi, hey, man, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, man, so what's your view? Yeah, like, what's your view on the prompt?
My view, I'm a utilitarian or consequentialist. I believe that morality is based on outcomes. So
yeah, so on the prompt, yeah, what's your view on the prompt?
Yeah, I do think that when it comes to consciousness, with respect to the pro-life argument, consciousness is morally relevant. So I believe that consciousness is at least a minimum. Sentience or consciousness, any of the two, is a minimum requirement for moral consideration. So I would just say that, like, I'm a consequentialist, so I believe in outcomes, in much more flourishing outcomes.
Yeah, but you said consciousness is a requirement for moral consideration. That's what you said.
Yeah, like a minimal consideration.
Oh, I mean, that's just like an insane view, right? Yeah, so that's an insane view because imagine I had two worlds, right? And one world, there's a disaster, and that disaster, right? It takes out a society where everyone is in celibate, and they would not continue to produce in the future, and the generation would just die with them. And then take another world where there's another disaster that you caused, but instead they have the genetic disposition such that they could reproduce 10, 20-fold, and they'd have a long prosperous society in the future. That's obviously way worse. Even though there's not like actual conscious creatures that exist, right? But the potential existence of the conscious creature makes it actually worse because of the foregone loss. You see? So your view as reductio.
In what sense?
In the sense that you're completely unable to account for this moral intuition that is presumably expected if you're a consequentialist who cares about outcomes.
Yeah, but when I say like outcomes, I'm engaging with substance. So I'm engaging with empirical evidence. I'm engaging with it's not just intuition, because obviously.
Yeah, well, but you're also engaging. That's inclusive of the things you're engaging with.
Do you want help you here, man?
Yeah, so like even if you want to identify the goalpost as being inclusive of empirical evidence. Like, yeah, man, cool. Have a really robust, epistemological evidential consideration in order to adopt your view. Yeah, I'm on board with that. I love robustness, right? I love the approach of your view, right? But, it's inclusive of the moral intuition, right? And that means that this is reductive on your view. Because that it's inclusive of that. Uh-oh.
Ran.
Looks like you're just a little short-sighted. You're a snake. A little snake. Or you just use some moment.
Here's the problem, bro. This
Into the jungle, yeah.
has politics and philosophy in his bio.
Yeah, you can't handle the jungle, you fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. You know you can't handle the jungle. You can't handle this.
My
He's
phone
a
went off.
socialist.
Oh, he's coming back. Oh, you guys actually.
I didn't think he was dodging. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. My phone just went off.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said about how the your moral epistemology is inclusive of the intuitionism, and that's why it's evidence you have to consider.
Not necessarily, because what you're talking about here is you're basically talking about some sort of potentiality. I don't value potentiality of life necessarily.
You don't think getting rid of the future generations is worse than not getting rid of the future generations?
Yeah, I don't think that is morally relevant. When you
That's
talk
insane.
about, yeah, because when we are, hold on, let me finish speaking. Don't fuck. When we talk about moral relevance, we're critiquing certain properties and how they relate to each other with respect to particular categories and with respect to particular situations. So if you say you're talking about a situation about humanity being at the risk of extinction, it is not a moral co-equivocation about specific conditions or specific conditions.
I'm not equivocating the potential and the actual.
But what you're trying to say is that intuitionism is included. Yes, intuitionism is included, but it's not granted for moral relevance because my moral perspective is not intuitionist. I'm not an intuitionist.
It's not exclusive. Yeah,
So,
but if it's inclusive,
but your argument. Hold on, okay.
My argument doesn't require that it's exclusive. I actually said that.
Okay, yeah. So my argument basically says I am granting moral consideration based on actualized properties. I'm not granting it based on.
Yeah, no, I know what your view is. I gave you a reductio. I know I gave a reductio to your view. I know what your view is, which is why there's a reductio. Because I gave the hypothetical, which obviously you have to explain. You have to explain why it's obviously more wrong to cause a disaster on the society that has the future, valuable goods that are just not going to be actualized in the future, as compared to the society which doesn't have that. And you have to explain that, and your view can't because you have this weird actualist view.
Yeah, but your example is not relevant to your example is not relevant to with respect to moral consideration in the general case because it does not apply to, let's say, pro-choice or pro-life argumentation.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't, because your argument doesn't. Okay, same. That means that every single person who has gone through some sort of contraceptive method has literally unalived millions and millions of people.
That's what I said. Yeah, nice blunder. Good job, buddy. Yeah, so
it's not a blunder. It's
nice blunder. So yeah, nice blunder. Yeah, so yeah, nice.
No,
now that we're in the fucking jungle, right? Now that we've traversed deep enough, right? You've pierced into the sublime mystery of the jungle. I'm gonna explain something to you. I'm gonna pre-expand the meaning of what I said, because what you need to contemplate, right, is that what you conceded to was not the fact that it's killing, right? What you conceded to is the fact that it's morally relevant, right? And now you're making these equivocations surrounding how, all forms of fucking, jerking, jasting is somehow killing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's morally relevant, right? And I didn't say it was morally relevant such that pro tanto, it's wrong. Okay, I didn't say that. I'm saying it is morally relevant. So I haven't even made a more specified, statement about the kind of, the deliberate procedures you would have to do to take into account such information. The whole point is that the information has to be taken into account when you're making moral decisions, which is what your view excludes, which is why it's a reductio on your view, right? So what's the response to that?
Your view is even a worse reductio. Your view is literally just based on potentiality or teleological.
Oh wow, nice dodge, because I actually didn't posit view, right? All I did was explain how your view doesn't account for this very obvious thing that has to account for, and that's reductio on your view. And in response, you just said I'm positing you, which I'm not, right? And I just gave you this whole explanation about why it lands, how it lands, how your blunder was inadequate, and then you gave me the same blunder again. So let's try again. What's the response? So I'll give you another but. How can you possibly hold your view when I landed a reductio successfully on it?
Yeah, because your reduction does not. Hold on, your reduction does not describe my view, though. It just describes a part of my view. It does not describe.
It's inclusive of your view. Yeah, good job. Yeah, there's this thing that your view doesn't
literally, you're literally critiquing an atom. That is literally.
I'm criticizing it. I'm criticizing your view. Yeah, I'm criticizing your view.
But that's not my view, though. That is literally.
Yeah, your view is that potency is morally considered.
Well, that potentiality is. Hold on, that potentiality is an ontological object in my view. Yeah, sure.
That's all. I'm not criticizing the metaphysical thesis. Good job. I'm criticizing the normative thesis, which is that the potency is not morally considered, right? And that's false because obviously it is. And I gave you a counterexample, and I want you to deal with that.
Yeah, but when you talk, hold on, when you talk about moral potency here, there's like you're multiplying the amount of entities we're dealing with. I'm talking about an individual.
I'm not.
Yes.
No, it's not metaphysical. No, it's not metaphysical. You could take whatever metaphysical status you want.
You are
potency,
multiplying.
Right?
Your view does not make sense.
No, I'm
it's
not.
There's
no ontological. No,
you are multiplying the amount of your.
There's actually no metaphysical multiplication happening
heard
with
of
respect to the ontology.
inflation?
Stop. There's no multiplication of the metaphysical ontology or the metaphysical status of potency. No, sorry. I am actually I'm criticizing the evaluative principle. I'm actually talking about the evaluative principle, right? I don't know why the fuck you're talking about parsimony right now. You're fucking very clearly lost in the jungle, and I'm trying to save you. I'm lighting a flare. I'm trying to get you evac right now. So calm the fuck down. Eat this carrot. Right?
Yes, but even the evaluative principle doesn't make sense.
Stop. What you need to stop. I'm gonna get nasty. You don't want that. Look, what you need to understand, right, is that I gave you a reductio on your evaluative principle. Okay? What I'm saying has nothing to do with respect to metaphysics. Has nothing to do with your metaphysical commitments. Has literally nothing to do with that. You're failing to track. So now that we're back on track, right? Just lock the fuck in and contemplate and answer my question. How exactly are you going to hold your view that only actual things are morally considered when I gave you a counterexample, which very clearly is evidence to the contrary, which your view in principle cannot account?
Yeah, because your view does not account for...
It's not my view. Good job. I'm not positing a view. So already blunder already from you. So I'm not positing a view. You're positing a view, and I'm positing the null hypothesis. So explain to me why your view is able to be, fucking still be maintained when you can't explain this counterexample. Go for it.
Yeah, but your reductio is not my argument, though. Like, your reductio is...
Yeah, good job. The reductio is not your argument.
Your deductio is not my argument, because your deductio
is an argument against your view. Yep.
It is not an argument against my view.
Yes, it is. Your reductio is evidence against your view.
It's not.
Yeah, it's evidence against your view because your view can't account for the reductio.
It does account for the reductio. What are you talking about?
And you can't explain the morally relevant qualities of why it's wrong to kill the society with future prosperous generations.
I have a simple question. Your view literally entails that moral consideration.
I didn't have a view. Good job. I didn't posit a view.
Okay,
nice job.
your evaluation literally posits that moral consideration.
I didn't posit a view.
Yeah, but...
I didn't posit a view.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about evolution.
Okay, all I'm saying is that your statement is trying to entail some sort of
what
binary...
statement? My statement is a case which you can't account for.
Yes, your case is a binary case. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a binary case?
Yes, it's a...
What does that have to do with your view accounting for it?
Because my view is not binary. It is much more substantive because it posits multiple other factors.
Actually, nice blunder. Your view can be just as complex as you want it to be, but the whole point is that your view has a burden to explain cases like mine.
It doesn't have a burden.
And it does have the burden to explain cases like mine, given that mine case is something which can be, you can
because
evaluate.
Your view...
It's evaluatable. The case is evaluatable. Yeah, sorry. So given that it is evaluatable, given that it follows all the same praxeological presuppositions such that it's evaluable and it's capable of being done with respect to the norms and follow through on the norms with respect to agency, it is evaluatable. It's a case which you have to explain in a normative theory. And so when you give, right, you give me this principle, right? You give me this principle and it says that only we consider actual facts when, considering what to do. That's just false because I gave you a case where obviously you're considering potential facts or facts about potency. And that obviously is morally considerable. And you can't account for that.
Yeah, but your view is based on civilization.
I don't have a view. Good job. I don't have a view.
Your case is literally posturing for civilizational collapse. My view is talking about for individual moral consideration. Like, that is not the same level.
It's the same thing. I'm saying,
it is not the same level.
So good job.
It is not the same degree.
Nice blunder. Yeah, you can frame. Yeah, you can frame the consequence of the individual's actions being global existential scale. Good job. Yeah, blunder. Yeah, blunder from you. It's actually still framed from the same first person, ethical perspective that most deliberative ethical dilemmas take from. So now that we've got that, now that we're clear on the perspective, right, the perspective fucking difference of the case, then let's just clear that this is a case you have to account for because it is first person perspective. It has no symmetry breaker with respect to any other fucking ethical case you'd ever give me ever, right? And with respect to that just means that you can't account for it because obviously the fucking future generations matter. And in principle, your view rules that out. And that's reductio on your view.
It's not a reductio. Okay.
You can't account for a case, which is
let me
obviously
simplify this. Hold on. Let me just simplify this super. Your argument in consequentialist terms, if your argument is, let's say this is what your particular view is ascribing, your view is ascribing some sort of binary reality of how to operate.
I don't have a view. Good job. Yeah, Blunder.
Blunder. whatever. But
I'm not prescribing. Good job, Blunder.
Your scenario, whatever.
Your scenario. I'm not prescribing. You fundamentally misunderstand the thing coming out of my mouth. What's happening is that you're not fluent in the jargon jungles, jargonese, okay? You're not fluent, right? What's happening is that you're getting lapped right now. You're getting thrown off the knowledge cliff. And I'm swinging from the trees gracefully, right? I'm going to come back down. I'm explaining to you, right? I'm not positing view, right? I'm not saying anything like that. I'm actually not doing anything of the sort. What I'm saying is I'm taking your view, right? And I'm saying, okay, well, presumably your view, the strength for your view is the ability to account for all the evidence. Part of the evidential set that you have to account for is the moral intuitions with respect to different cases that you can postulate. Now,
okay, why should I account for moral intuition? Why should I account for
because you said that was
I am not an intuitionist, you dumb fuck.
Because you said it was inclusive of the evidentiary set. That's what you fucking said.
Okay, no. Why should I have to? Okay, no.
Because you fucking co-signed that, you fucking retard.
Why?
Because you included that in your evidence.
You're dumb as fuck. You're dumb as fuck. Why
you included it in your evidence.
Why should I account for intuition? Hold on. Why should I account for intuition?
Why should you account for moral intuition?
Yes.
You already co-signed that you did. Are you walking that back?
I never said that. I said based on.
You said that was inclusive. Good job. You said that was inclusive of the moral.
I never said that. That is not my primary premise. My premise is based on.
Wait! Stop lying.
Oh my god! Can you stop interrupting? My premise is based on.
Hold on.
My premise is based on known information, based on evidence, based on substance.
Sorry. Calm down. Yes, right. Calm down. I'm going to explain to you what you said, right? I'm a third party. I'm not even in the debate. Just listen. This is what you said specifically. You said your moral epistemology does not only or merely account for intuitions, but also empirical facts, right? That's what you said. So that's not to say that it accounts for empirical facts to the exclusion of intuition facts, right? There's facts about intuitions that your view accounts for.
Yeah, but
also does so to the exclusion
I am talking
of
about
empirical facts.
Hold on, you dumb fuck. I'm talking about compelling. Why should I be compelled to use my intuition?
No, because you said you did. You already said your view.
I am not compelled to. I am not compelled.
I'm not compelled. You already said that you do that.
I am not compelled.
Intuitions are actually already intrinsically. Yeah. So fun fact.
I am not
compelled. Hold on, calm down. Yeah. So fun fact. Intuitions are already hedonically valent. So when you ask why
I am not compelled,
that's
obviously a category. So just real quick, address. Sorry.
You give an argument. Why should I be compelled to use
calm the fuck down. Yeah. Nice category error. Because if you weren't a fucking moron, right, and you were able to directly access what it means to say something is an intuition or something's intuitive, you understand that intuitions are such that they have a hedonic valence, right? They're phenomenal characters such that they're laced with intrinsically motivating properties, right? So when you ask me, right, why am I motivated? That's just a category error because the why there, what is it? Evaluative? It's not evaluative. It's built into the fucking concept. It's built into the nature of the fucking thing. So if you've ever had an intuition, you've ever fucking stumbled upon having one before, if you're a fucking agent, debatably, I don't know if you are, right? But granting charitably for the sake of the conversation that you are an agent and you've had a fucking intuition before in your entire fucking life, you would be grasping the fucking directly evident fact that it's fucking compelling. Because it's intuitive, you fucking piece of shit. Now, what you're gonna do, right, is you're gonna now, after understanding the fucking severe blunder you just committed right now, you so fucking confidently doubled down on, I want you to lock the fuck in and explain to me why intuitions aren't something you have to consider as evidence, despite the fact that you co-signed it, and despite the fact that when you fucking asked your retarded question, you fucking assumed the knowledge of the fucking thing in question. You fucking retard. Now explain yourself.
This guy, you're dumb as shit. When I'm talking about intuition, I'm talking about compelling. Okay, we all know that intuition, obviously, there's an aspect of intuition.
I'm talking about compelling. I'm talking about, what do you think of fucking hedonic?
Mute your mics, you subhuman shit. Mute your mic. Oh my god, mute your mic.
What do you think it means to be compelled?
I'm talking. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking.
What do you think it means to be compelled?
Quietly mute your mic like a good boy. Mute your mic.
How about you answer my question like a good boy, you fucking bitch? You got taken in the jungle, you got blown the fuck out, I've been swinging around you, and you don't even know where you're at right now. So just answer my fucking question. Oh, he's gone.
Ran.
Holy green, bro. I turned on the rhetoric out of nowhere. That's funny.
Darius just entered the flow state.
He literally did. I've never seen you that like, yeah, the thing is, I don't even know you're a fucking agent. I don't know if you had intuition your entire fucking life. I just think it was funny as fuck.
Yeah, so clip that.
That's clippable. I can't believe he left, but that's really sad.
Was that you mean to that guy?
No.
No, he was being a dick to Sky. So.
Yeah. He was. He literally threw shots at Sky.
You do not want to mess with the jungle, the fiercest predator. The jaguar, you'll be fed to the lions.
Did Darius have to harness the jargon jaguar temporarily?
They said the Darius what?
Did he have to harness the power of the Jargon Jaguar temporarily to overcome that threat to the jungles?
Yeah, he entered the flow state and he spiritually synthesized with the essence of the jaguar.
Holy shit, with the absolute, bro. The absolute is the Jaguar.
The absolute's the
He's
jungle.
gonna make a live.
The jaguar and Darius are just alters.
Yeah, they're just manifestations of the absolute's perfection.
Right. Anyway, so if anybody wants me to break that down. Yeah, so,
Wait, what was the reductio, actually? I don't remember what it was. I wasn't listening.
Planets.
Yeah, so let me break this down in English. So basically, the guy said his principle was that he didn't consider potency. He didn't consider things morally if they weren't based on exclusively actual facts. And so then you can take facts about potency, which of course are categorically at odds with actual facts. So like facts about what things could be, facts about what things potentially could be, things like that. Facts about the future. Those things are kinds of potent facts because actual there presumably means present. And so then I gave a case and I said, okay, which one's more morally wrong? Killing a society and making them extinct if that society was like infertile and like otherwise just would have naturally not been able to reproduce and die within the next century, or killing a society which had the disposition such that they could, if you had not killed them, it would go on and on for millennia to like continue to prosper and flourish, right? And like spread and like make more of them. Obviously, it's like worse to kill the society with like the fucking dispositions like flourish in the future like significantly more. And the whole point is that given that that's obviously morally like worse, the whole thing is how would you account for that? And you can only account for with respect to the difference in the facts about their potency. Of course, that's just his view in principle can't say that because he explicitly ruled it out. And so that's how that's reductio on his view. And then in response to that, what he did was he tried saying that the framing of the example like wasn't applicable, like wasn't a moral framing. And then I addressed that by saying, oh, actually, no, it is. Like imagine an individual is choosing to do that somehow. So that's false. And then he also said that I was inflating my ontology, and he was making an equivocation between me saying that potency is relevant and me saying that potency is reified metaphysically, which just means that I'm not making a statement about the metaphysical status of potency, like whether or not potency is like real or something like that. I'm not saying anything about that. You can take potency to be any kind of metaphysical status, and it wouldn't matter. The whole point is that it's relevant, because the whole disagreement is on evaluative principles, not metaphysical principles. That was another blunder. And then at the end there, he started talking about, he talked about intuition, and then he's like, oh, I don't have to account for this, but obviously that's blunder because he said he did. And then he said, why are intuitions compelling? And I gave an argument to motivate that. And the argument there, it's not really an argument, it's just kind of an observation, where if you just knew what an intuition was, it's like intuitions by their very nature are compelling. It's like asking why are you motivated towards pleasure, right? That question's confused because pleasure just is the kind of thing where it's hedonically valence. The term hedonic valence to describe that is kind of like it has an inherently motivating or compelling character to it already. That's a kind of like attraction you have to pleasure and abstention, abstaining away you have from pain. And similarly with intuitions, you obviously are also hedonically valence in this way where it's a drawing towards or against a belief. And so when he said, why are intuitions compelling? It's like the same fucking stupid blunder. And so, I mean, if you even fucking grasp the meaning of that statement, you would understand. If you grasp the fucking concept of intuition, like the fucking mere act of grasping that would make the question insanely fucking confused. And so, that's essentially how that happened. Yeah. Did Darius get rhetorical? Was that actually cool guy? Was that like top? Was that peak? Was that rhetorical peak?
You hear me? Hello? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. No, you were low-key in the flow state, bro. That shit was so funny, bro. I've never seen you get that rhetorical at anyone. I haven't seen many of your debates. That's like low-key peak-ass rhetoric. But you did lose. I do think you lost on substance. You did, particularly when he gave you the objection where he was like, you're inflating your metaphysics. Like, that was pretty strong, I think. I mean, I've never seen... I think that's like low-key, like, of like the dumb responses, like, that are, still relevant to the conversation, that's the dumbest one, right? Like it's like the relevant dumb modality, like that's like the dumbest in that modality. Like, holy shit. Why did he say that? It's not even like Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, he. Anyway, yeah. So after, Loki was that top 3 Darius performances of all time.
Honestly, it might be top one. I'm trying to think of the other Darius performances. There's not many on that I've seen. Well, actually, sorry. Due to it's how iconic it is. When you called that guy a monkey on panel, might actually top that.
Yeah, you're right. Dang. Yeah. Usually I don't ever like fucking ape out on people, but because I'm like nice and I try educating people, but fuck that guy and he's so mad.
Wait, have you met him before or no?
Yeah, just the way he was speaking. Something about him. Something about the way. All right.
Okay, bro. You're making that in college. I don't even get what you're saying. Oh shit, bro. But yeah, that was crazy, bro. He low-key is diminishing the field because this is the problem, bro. People think that philosophy is just like performative and like pseudo intellectual LARP stuff because that's what he is. But he reps it in his bio. I don't know if you saw. It's like philosophy / politics. He's a dem socialist. You actually should have talked about that. I think that would have been more entertaining. But this is the issue, bro. People like.
I know. Yeah, and so if that wasn't over anybody's heads, well, it was the jungle. So, the thing about when I get debate on this account is I get to speak as complicated as I want.
I want to see you debate him on socialism.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? So it's weird because the Darius rhetoric like fucking weaved into the like linear Larry rhetoric. So like they like synthesized. Yeah, so actually what we're going to do, right, is, it's on my view. Yeah, it's on my view, and you're getting blown the fuck out, and, yeah, actually, yeah. Last time I got BTFO'd by Art, yikes. Yikers times 10.
Linear.
Darius. Guys, if you guys want some tips and tricks about the Darius rhetorical strategy, something that Darius likes to do. Oh, actually, I know where that was. I was like synthesizing Darius and Dr. Jones. That's what it was. Blunder. Dr. Jones, every time he hears a blunder, he goes, blunder, blunder, blunder. Hey, Sky. Thanks for platforming that.
You're welcome, bro.
What were your thoughts on that debate? Did you like that?
Yeah, it was good. Bro, he spoke to everyone. He spoke to me. He spoke to me and he told me that a soul is an independent, immaterial... Oh, sorry, what the fuck? Where did I get souls from? Sorry, I'm reading the shit. I'm reading the soul paper. I'm so not looked at. He said consciousness is like an ontological independent entity that doesn't need like a physicalist view, like it's entirely not dependent on physicalism. And then I got him to say yes.
Okay, well, that's physical. True.
Wait, but then he said that you need physical body parts for consciousness.
Well, that might not. It depends on what you mean. That might not be necessarily wrong. That might be compatible with the thesis on physicalism.
Him denying physicalism and accepting physicalism is not wrong.
Well, I'm an idealist. I think if you smashed my brain to bits, I probably wouldn't be conscious in like the way Bradley lays out his phenomenology, where consciousness is simply a finite center of experience within the abstract. I probably wouldn't have that type of consciousness anymore. But I'm not a physicalist.
Yeah, so yeah.
I don't think he's a physicalist. He denied it after, so I don't know.
Yeah, so does anybody here want to be taken into the jungle?
Yeah, take me to the jungle, Big D. Big Darius.
I think calling me Big D. I think like the absolute like fucking fanfare that happens when I join panels in this account is so funny.
Because it's the most go to the account there is. Wait, do you think that Lid is a little scumbag, yes or no?
Send that to me. What did you say? Send that to me. What did you say? Term scumbag.
A scumbag being So I don't know if I can give a definitions or something like that, but I could give you an ostensive account. someone like Bridge, Ian, Dubert, those kind of
They are
people.
scumbags.
Yeah.
Oh, is Lit like Duvert and all them? Yeah, kinda.
I'm saying he's a scumbag.
Scum guy 11.
Who said that? Bam.
Lit said that.
Get him out.
Walking into a store, don't say the N-word.
It's fine. Fine. You insist.
Just please don't say the N-word.
You insist. Idealism in 2020.
Oh my god, why is he back?
Oh yeah. Who's that?
Why is he back?
Big Five.